Hello, everybody. Welcome to Political Football, the division round review show and conference championship game preview show. Part of the Matty Ice Media Network. Click the show notes below. Go to mattyicemedia.com. Find a bunch of other great podcasts over there. We are super excited here. Well, I'm super excited as a Lions fan, of course. Let me adjust this camera here a little bit. As a Lions fan, Scott is here. He will be right back. Cleve will be joining us at some point. Although it's got to be hard for him as a fan of the Jets to see a well-run franchise winning games like the Detroit Lions. It's got to be a little rough for him. But I'm going to go ahead and roll the intro, and by the time it's over, hopefully everybody else will be here. All right. So, yes, here we are. We're back. It's me and Scott. Now, Cleve is in the waiting room right now. And I just want to repeat, because he wasn't here with what I said before, that it's got to be hard for him as a Jets fan to see such a well-run organization accomplish its goals like the Detroit Lions. Cleve, what do you think?
Go Niners.
Oh, man.
That's my Super Bowl pick. So I cannot go for them. Good. You guys have gotten to sniff the chip. This is the closest. This is close, man. Did you guys get that thing I sent out of back in, I guess, when before how many things have happened? Like the iPad wasn't, what do you call that thing? Yeah. A ton of stuff wasn't invented yet. It was just crazy to me that the world 30 years ago, like we didn't have so much technology or so much stuff. It was kind of funny to see that.
We are as close now to the Obama election as the Obama election was to the last time the Lions won a playoff game.
That's insane.
The Obama election is halfway.
Yeah, that's insane. But in all seriousness, I know I've given Dave shit over the years, even before the show was created, and then Scott, also a Lions fan. But congrats. I give you guys your flowers. Hell of a season. I mean, the team, to me, 2 years ago, I was rooting for you guys. You guys had a ton of fight, but really, really, really good story for the city. Really good story for Man Campbell. You guys are coming off a natty. It's a good time to be from that region of the country. Good times.
Oh, it's the best.
It's been a good couple of weeks of football here. It really has.
Yeah, it's the best. It's the best football stretch, by far. Because in 1997, Michigan won the national championship. Charles Woodson won the Heisman Trophy. Barry ran for 2,000 yards. But give me a conference championship appearance over 2,000 yard running back any day.
I said Man Campbell, not Matt.
Also, Cleve, I think you forgot that I have ultimate control over our names, so you might want to take a look at what I changed your name to here.
Oh wow. The comments are not necessarily of Matty Ice Media and any affiliate.
So we will of course talk about the Detroit Lions quite a bit here with Scott and I being diehard Lions fans. I do want to give Cleve a little bit of grief because his Jets have. I mean, it's been a while.
68.
Well, since you won the Super Bowl, conference championship was 2010. So
yeah, which is still a far. I mean, there's some kid that was born that doesn't know about that.
Yeah, those were the Sanchez years, right?
Yes.
Yeah. A defense really wasn't.
Yeah, the Revis years.
Yeah, it was the defense. Like, let's not get crazy.
I think Jake's out here telling stories out of school.
Oh boy.
Jake says the Jets hired Jim Harbaugh. Listen, Jake is a Chargers fan. I don't know why he doesn't want Harbaugh to go to the Chargers, which is what I said would happen a couple weeks ago, and what it looks like is going to happen here. It's not official yet, but
that's what he's going to do. Yeah, that's where he's going, bro.
It's looking pretty strong.
He's going to have to get a lot of concessions from that family, though. I'll tell you that, because from a money standpoint and other reasons.
I mean, the man's won everywhere he's been. He's coming in with a pedigree. It's not like he's coming in someone that just got a stretch going. He's kind of been that guy for the longest.
He is. He's going.
And if they want to win,
money. Yeah, they are tight.
Yeah, if they want to win, and they got the quarterback that they need, we'll know whatever next coach they get. We'll know if Herbert's the guy.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Justin Herbert being in San Diego, being on Los Angeles Chargers, can make up for a lot of other concessions you might need, because those jobs at the quarterback of his skill level do not come open that often. However, coaches with the track record of Jim Harbaugh don't come available that often either. And so we're going to get into a game a little bit later where there might be a surprise team that might want to look into trying to pull the trigger here for this. But first, let's start what does feel like an eternity ago. The Texans 10 at the Ravens 34. The game was tied 10-10 at the half, and reports are that Lamar put his foot in everyone's ass in the locker room at halftime, Clev.
I heard that. And if he did, good for him, because he's the field general, and he's the guy. Like, he is the MVP.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't get on the train, then get from in front of it, because it's going to run you over. You want to play, you want to go home. You want to go to Cancun?
or do you want to go to the middle of the Gulf of Mexico like the Bills?
That was so harsh, Dave.
That was brutal. That was brutal.
Shout out to Ben joining us here. Late nights for him. He's got like 4 a.m. starts to his work day, so appreciate him staying up, hanging out with us here. In this game, Jacob. Lamar, 16 of 22, 152 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Just a casual 11 carries for 100 yards and 2 more touchdowns.
Yeah, he was feeling it.
Doing MVP things.
Yeah.
Doing MVP things. I mean,
I don't want to hear, like, it in this area where we live, Cleve, we still do get some people who don't like Lamar, mostly because they're salty Commander fans.
Yeah.
But I don't think, like, at this point, all those discussions are just over. The guy's a 2-time MVP. He's obviously great. Like, Lamar is just a great elite quarterback. And can we just be done with any sort of discussion or argument about this at all?
I mean, beyond quarterback play, he's a great athlete, and he's a hell of a football player all around. Like, who wouldn't want that guy? Like I said, the 15 was it 15?
The Falcons, the Commanders, the Patriots,
the Jets, the fucking Jets. Yeah, like, seriously, we in the immortal words of Tom Brady, we stuck with that motherfucker. Like,
it is incredible looking back at how much colluding was happening. The idea that he was available and just nobody even bothered. Like, come on,
lunatics, bro. You don't want to.
He played good. I mean, I thought he played really well on Saturday and very under control. In the past, in the playoffs, he has looked a little panicky. And in moments, he didn't look like that at all on Saturday. He looked really good. I didn't hear anything about him, ripping everybody at halftime, but that game was reported.
It was reported on a few things. The thing about Lamar, and maybe I just noticed this, or maybe you guys can tell me if I've missed this. He actually has fun playing quarterback. Like, he makes it. The other guys take it as like a serious ass job, and again, it's only 32 of them on the entire planet. Of these jobs, but he actually loves playing the game. Like, you could tell, you like the kid in him out there running around. Same kind of like from Mahomes as well, but Lamar is to step back. Was it last week? Step back, a guy just run in front of you. Like, you don't do that in game in the NFL.
If you could pull that shit off, though, it'd be kind of fun, wouldn't it? Like, at the highest level in the world, it would be fun.
It's amazing. It's awesome, bro.
Yeah,
that alone is ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, so I'm really excited. I'm excited for the Ravens. They obviously have a really good look at it here, winning the whole thing. Now, Jake makes a really good point. He says the Ravens didn't allow the Texans in the red zone the entire game because, of course, the Texans' only touchdown came on a punt return. CJ Stroud, 19 of 33, 175 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. This Ravens defense is the real deal. They didn't even have Marlon Humphrey in this game.
No, and they
Starved
forced
them.
him to roll right the
Yeah.
entire game, and he just it wasn't like panic rolling. It was as soon as pressure hit, he rolled to his right, and it almost looked like Baltimore kind of condensed and added a safety to that side of the field.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as he started moving, and there was just nothing available for him. Super smart.
It was like
you know?
it was like the reverse of Zoolander. Can't turn left.
He was funny. He was it just was like it was almost like an intentional thing. Like they brought pressure that he could see. Maybe they saw something on film with him. Like, hey, if we show him a linebacker, even if the linebacker doesn't come, if we show it to him and bring him to the line of scrimmage, he's gonna leave the pocket at his earliest opportunity and go right. And then that sort of just condenses the width of the field that you need to cover. And that's pretty smart stuff if that's what they decided to do.
And in this game, too, of course, the Texans don't have Tank Dell. They haven't had him for like a month and a half now. They also didn't have Noah Brown. And so the people filling in for both of them were like Xavier Hutchinson, some fifth-round rookie, John Mechie, who's in his second year, but is really a rookie because he missed his first year with leukemia. And so you could just tell that he did not have the options available to him that could play at a level necessary to win in Baltimore. Still no turnovers for him, though.
Yeah, he played. I mean, he's had a ridiculous year. He's been amazing.
Yeah.
Future's bright there.
It is. I think it's actually very, very bright in Houston because they still have multiple first-round picks from the Deshaun Watson trade. Jake with another good point. He says, imagine Jim Harbaugh winning his first ever championship only to have his brother upstage him a month later by winning a second Super Bowl.
Hey, and that brother had already beaten him heads up in a Super Bowl. Yeah.
Two things.
They're going to have some family therapy down the road with that family.
Yeah. So two things. One, that tells you that Jake is definitely an NFL guy and not a college guy because some of us view the national championship as the premier championship to win in the sport of football. Number two, Tom Crean married into that family. So there will always be like the loser coach who never got it done.
They're going to defer to that guy. Like, hey.
The loser coach. Coach basketball at Indiana. The loser.
Yeah. So they got Tom Crean, who's never won anything, married their sister. So they've always got somebody there to clown on.
What
so
do
I
you
think
family functions are like in that household? I can't even imagine.
Can you imagine playing Uno with them?
No.
I mean, look at the Mannings. That had to been a rough hill till he got his second chip because the little brother just walks in there with 2 rings on, sits down, gets an extra piece of turkey.
Yeah, I think that Peyton could make a very easy, reasonable case that he's obviously better than Eli Manning, like at quarterback. I don't think either Harbaugh brother can make the case that they're the better coach unless John wins a second Super Bowl. then his argument becomes a lot stronger. So,
the level of intensity in the Harbaugh fan.
That has to be crazy.
Yeah, and I don't think the Mannings. I think the Mannings are a little more. I think they like to a little more.
Eli
fun.
has the better win though. He has one of the better wins. Took down a 18-0 perceived team, and it was the Patriots. It was Tom in his prime.
Yeah,
I mean it don't get any better than that.
But Peyton Manning can't have that win because Peyton Manning's the quarterback of the great team. Right? Peyton Manning would never coach a 7-seed wild card upstart because his teams are always 13-3.
Yeah, true.
Right.
True that.
That's like a few years ago, Michigan State as a 2-seed lost to Middle Tennessee State in the first round of March Madness. And of course, Ben in the chat was all upset about it. And one thing I pointed out was like, all the great coaches have first round losses as high seeds because you have to be a high seed to lose.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Shitty coaches don't have that. Like it's all Mike Krzyzewski and Roy Williams and Tom Izzo because you have to be great to be upset in the first place. So I think Peyton's fine, even with only one title. Before he got the second, I think he was fine with where he was at. Jake asking if the Texans will be back in the playoffs next season. It's a bit early to say. I think the AFC South is wide open. I don't think Jacksonville is that tough relative to Houston. The Colts, though, look like they could be pretty strong, add some pieces. And if Anthony Richardson is decent, they're going to be tough. And getting a wild card out of that division is always going to be hard because the AFC North has Lamar and Burrow.
Yeah.
The AFC West has Patrick Mahomes and then usually one of the good teams.
Don't forget about Kenny Pickett. He's there too.
Is what, holding the clipboard?
He's playing for the UFL. They merged the XFL and whatever the other league was. So I'm pretty sure he's in that draft.
I don't know why we're talking about Mason Rudolph's backup, but okay.
Tomlin said a couple days ago that he expects Pickett to be back as the starter. And I went, no. They have to trade up for a quarterback.
There was a guy holding a thing in the back of him saying to say that. Like the guys in the back of the room, like, you better fucking say that.
Yeah, they need leverage to be able to trade Pickett to somebody else.
Some guys holding a gun to Mrs. Tomlin. Listen, you're going to say this about Kenny.
Exactly.
Unbelievable.
Allegedly.
Yeah, and then, of course, the AFC East with Miami and Buffalo. So getting a wild card out of the AFC South is going to be tough for the next few years. So you almost have to win the division. So that's why it's hard to say, will the Colts or will the Texans be there? They could not fall off at all and still miss the playoffs.
So I know they have Cleveland's first rounder, but they don't have theirs this year. So they don't have two. They only have one.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. They were able to trade theirs for Will Anderson and still have Cleveland's.
Yes. Yep. We'll see how that works out for them in the future.
Yep. Packers 21, 49ers 24. The Packers had a real chance in this game. Don, friend of the show, said that he was very unimpressed with Jordan Love's last 3 possessions in this game, Scott. And I have to say, I agree. I think that Jordan Love in the last 3 possessions looked like the Jordan Love I feared we were going to get. So the question is, because he had great stats this year, he got better as the year went along. Is he like Favre in that he's always going to have these sort of turnovers, bad plays in him? Or do you think he can continue to improve and really cut down on that nonsense?
Well, I mean, it's tough because if you look at their weapons, it's Christian Watson, who really didn't do much this year, right? As a second-year player. But then there's Dontavian Wicks is a rookie, and Jaden Reed's a rookie, and Tucker Kraft is a rookie. I think it's Tucker Kraft is a rookie, and Luke Musgrave is a rookie. Mm-hmm. And you see where I'm going with all this stuff is, I mean, they have a reasonable offensive line, but most of their weapons are super young guys. And he was able to extract pretty good play out of those players. Romeo Doubs is a second-year player. So,
he's not good.
I mean, he is what he is. He's like 75 years old, but this is year 2 for him. But, with all the options, all the weapons they have, they're all super young players who may not necessarily have performed themselves well in the last few possessions. They may have gotten tight. So as much as, it looks like it might be on Jordan Love a little bit there, I think that we have to just back off on some of that situationally with the context of everybody he's throwing to is super young and it's their first time, all this stuff.
Yeah. It's the inexperience. It's the first time in that big spot. I mean, that's what you got to chalk it up to.
Also, San Francisco is way better than Dallas.
Yes,
that's true.
I think we saw that pretty clearly in this game as well. When we do the offseason, we do the season reviews, when we look at how much cap space the teams have going into free agency, I'm very curious how much cap space the Packers will have because their team is so young. I assume they have a lot. And so they could be a strong for like a T. Higgins, somebody like that coming in. They're going to be in that market, I think, for sure.
Yeah, that's going to be a strong market for Mr. Higgins.
Yeah. The 49ers' whole plan got messed up when Debo got hurt and had to leave the game. Cleve, do you think that one player, even a player as good as Debo, should be able to knock a team this talented sort of, I don't want to say off the rails, but clearly their offense started struggling once they realized Debo wasn't coming back?
Yeah, I mean, we've all played level of ball or whatever. Like, you have your game plan and set. Obviously, there's contingencies if a guy goes down, and it didn't go as planned. This guy goes down early, and everyone's got to pick it up. People say that Purdy's like the weak link because he has all these weapons, competent weapons around him. But I think he's safe enough as a quarterback to just say, you know what, I'm just gonna go with the check downs here and just keep it close. Because like you said, Green Bay was really in it, and that last interception was fucked up. Was it a kicker thing as well?
Yeah, the kicker missed the field goal. Yeah.
It, like, I mean, like, leaving it, if you're within 3 points to lose a game, and I learned this from Dave a couple years ago, like, those things come back to haunt you. But then I always believe in then not putting yourself in that position where we're going to need 3 points here. I think when he threw the interception, he's like, okay, well, maybe I can get bailed out again or get bailed out here. But the inexperience showed up. Going back to Dave's question, yeah, I think that's his number one option, right? Or is it Ayuk?
He's like Cleve, you played, right? So
yeah,
when you're looking at like what the team across from you likes to do, one of the things that you want to do is kind of figure out who's the heart and soul of that team and take that player away. Just make his life miserable.
Yep.
Right. Yep. And if you can do that, it just changes everything about the team you're playing. Now, Debo being hurt, that he is the tone setter there. He is the heart and soul of that team. I know they have Kittle, they have Brandon Ayuk, who's a really good player. McCaffrey's a stud, good offensive line, all those things. But the tone setter and the guy who is the vibe of that team, and it's kind of the heart of that team, is Debo. Them losing Debo, that's a big deal. It is a big deal.
The era of ball I played in, bounties were like a thing. So yeah, you would know what from like the pep rally, which guy we were going to target or just chip or take a shot at. You could get ejected, just don't kill the guy, but take him out. Give him something. Yeah,
but it's a thing. It's like, San Francisco's offense is very different offense, and maybe a little more vanilla without a player like Debo.
Yes.
So, and we'll see. And we continue to see Brock Purdy get turnover luck like just crazy.
I mean, I keep forgetting that this is only his second year and his first full year as a starter, because the way he's played, you think he's just been there forever. But again, he's still like that rookie. He's Jordan Love. Like, they're 2 years, Jordan Love?
Yeah,
the same amount of
time.
time.
Love's first year as a starter.
Yeah. So yes. So yeah, it's pretty much equal territory. But again, today's point, and to your point, Scott, you have guys that are experienced that I could just get the ball in just anyone's hand, and then the other situation is like everyone's young. Like, we're all like learning this right now together. They were supposed to win. I mean, 3 points. What is it? 3 points is what it is.
I think that whole game was tighter than I think San Francisco wanted it to be.
Absolutely.
But the Packers were playing. The Packers were playing high level football going there. They really were. I mean, they dismantled Dallas.
That was a get the win and get home. Like, let's just get this win and get out of here. That's nothing special. Let's just get this win and get out of here.
Yep. Survive and advance.
Okay. Are you guys ready for a hot take?
Always. Can't even imagine.
Piping hot take.
Oh, no.
And before you immediately reject it, Cleve.
Oh, my God.
Really just think about it for a second. Okay. Christian McCaffrey in this game, 17 carries, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns, 7 catches for 30 yards. I gave the 49ers shit when they made this trade because they're already such an efficient running team, but Christian McCaffrey is an outlier. He is a talent that is unmatched at the position since Marshall Faulk, and I'm going to say it. I think Christian McCaffrey is better.
And Marshall Falk. All right.
Uh-huh.
All right.
He flat out rejected it.
Yeah, I mean, what was it? I hit the button right away, dude.
The dump
Really?
button.
You're talking Marshall Falk in the prime of the run of the greatest show on turf, because he literally was like another receiver.
Yeah, so it's Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, I thought you was like Roger Craig, which is the granddaddy of that position. I would say Roger Craig, but Marshall was a different animal. I mean, Christian is good, but Marshall Falk, come on, man. I don't know.
If the 49ers win the Super Bowl this year, they'll have the same number of titles, right? Because the Rams only got one.
It's just such high praise for. I get it.
Yeah.
But think about
what it is.
Athletically, production, what they do on the field, running between the tackles, outside the tackles, pass catching, another receiver. I mean,
no, I think he's the best running back in football.
Well, there's no question about that.
Yes. Marshall in college, and I got to look this game up. I think he had 300 all-purpose yards in the game. It was something. I'll send it to you guys later. It was ridiculous. Like, when you knew this was going to be a guy that can that can get into the flat and become a weapon instantly. In between tackles, great. That second dimension.
That great Marshall Falk. I think Marshall Falk is one of the 5 most talented running backs I've seen, given his versatility. Yeah, I just think McCaffrey is better.
McCaffrey's he's good in spots. I mean, he's good. He's part of the engine of that team. Like, he's a safety valve for sure. That's the guy you want. Everyone's blanketed. I'm just gonna get it to the flat.
Okay, are you ready? Here comes my finishing move argument.
Oh God.
Marshall Falk got to play with young Peyton Manning and then Kurt Warner. Christian McCaffrey did get Cam Newton for a while, prime Cam, and now he's playing with Brock Purdy. And we like Brock Purdy around here. He is not Kurt Warner.
No. I mean, Kurt Warner's not Kurt Warner. Like,
right. Christian McCaffrey is the Kurt Warner of this team.
Yes.
He's the star player.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah,
but he's a running back position in 2024.
I think you said it, Dave, and I'll give you flowers on it. When that trade happened, you said this is a great pickup for the Niners because they were assembling what they have now. Obviously, we didn't know about Purdy, but we were going to give Jimmy G these weapons to get over the hump at the time, right? So,
well, I said that they should have made a trade for somebody to add to the offense. I didn't like it being CMC as much because they could already run the ball so effectively.
Run the ball, yeah.
Right. They were the 49ers really are the team that could roll out anybody from target and get 100 yards. Like, they legit can do that. So it's like, why are they investing so much in the running back position? But he's an outlier. He's like Tyreek Hill. He's different than everybody else. And so,
it's
as
almost
much as I like Emmett,
Jahmyr Gibbs of the West Coast. It's almost like that.
Yeah. As much as I like Emmitt Smith as a running back, I really don't like. See the offensive line, because I think Barry was in that era. Barry was the better running back to me. And if Barry had that offensive line, that rushing record is like 21,000, like unreachable.
Yes.
The argument stops there. Barry was the better running back between Emmett and Barry. And again, if Barry had the line, I think his negative yards is probably 3,000 yards negative because he had to run back so many times. I swear to God. Look up his negative yards. It's probably like 3,000 yards that he could have been credited on the top of what he got. But if they had that same line, he would have 21,000 yards.
Clev, you see this comment from Paul?
CMC
had 300 total scrimmage yards 4 times in 2016.
Okay.
At Stanford.
Thanks for
not San Diego State, Stanford.
Okay. Thanks, Paul. Like, it's great. No, it's great at the show. Like, we're all family here. It's a safe place.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because I was thinking about this thing, making my notes or whatever, and I said, since Marshall Falk, and then I was thinking about it, I was like, I don't see the reason why CMC is not just better.
Okay.
I just had that. It's such a hurdle for me
to
be better
than
jacket.
It's the gold jacket. Because I don't think CMC is a Hall of Famer yet.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think so. What do you say, Scott?
I don't know. I mean, I
There
think
you
he's
go.
absolutely trending to be.
No, yeah, he's trending. Yeah, body
But-
work's not over yet, but
Right.
the gold jacket is for Marshall right now. Is why you have trepidation answering that question straight up. Is why.
Well, I do. Period. I think Marshall Falk is incredible.
Yes.
But
So
I'm terrible at taking a player in the year 2024 and putting him back 20 years ago and trying to, how do the pieces of that puzzle go together? I'm bad at that.
It's different football. No, that and that's fair. It's different times. Like rules have changed and schemes have changed and all of that. It's hard.
But in today's game, there's no better running back as a pure runner and also as a pass catcher.
Yes.
Line him up as a slot receiver. He would be an elite slot receiver. He would be.
I think he's Roger Craig, bro. He's right. He's a upgraded Roger Craig. Roger Craig was awesome.
He's way better than Roger Craig.
Yeah.
He's better than Roger Craig as a receiver, let alone just as a runner.
Hey Jacob, I had like 1180 on my SATs. I think we've had this talk already, and Dave didn't. Dave doesn't. I know pretty good words. I can hold my own in a Scrabble game, bro.
Juxtaposition. Wow, that's a big word too.
So this is how I know Clev doesn't actually play Scrabble competitively or for money, because you don't want to make the longest words. That opens you up to counter punches. You want to make small words out of the triples and doubles, rack up points. You never want to play trepidation unless it's to close out the game.
This is not what I anticipated us talking about, but here we are.
I have to dumb it down now. Like, Jesus. Like, here we go. Simplize the playbook.
Bucks 23, Lions 31.
Oh, let's get into it.
Forward down the field, the charging team that will not yield. Take it, Cleve.
I barely know the Jets fight song that Lou Holtz gave us. No, that was a real thing. Lou Holtz, I'll send you the video. Lou Holtz had us have a fight
Lou Holtz gave you guys a fight song. Let me guess. It's the Don't Trust Them New from the Boondocks.
I couldn't tell with all the mayonnaise on the side of his mouth as he was singing it. So there we go.
Lou Holtz.
Shout out to Lou Holtz.
Here's how you know Lou Holtz sucks. Lou Holtz won a national championship for Notre Dame, and Paul still hates him.
That's brutal.
Is that true?
What do you got to do? Yeah, what do you got to do? You're going with Chip, and you're still not good enough.
Right. That would be like me hating Jim Harbaugh or Cleve hating Greg Schiano.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Oh, man. Ooh, are you gonna be here all week? Should I try to fucking veal?
The Detroit Lions are in the NFC Championship game, and it's amazing. It still doesn't feel right to say.
Correct. We have fallen. So the prevailing theory is that if you fall into a black hole, you fall into an alternate reality, which is literally like the opposite of where you came from. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's what's happened in some ways. Like the Lions sucked for years.
4 weeks ago, Dave gave the blueprint. He said that because after the Thanksgiving game, he said the path is going to have to be this. And I think he actually laid it out on what it's going to be. So he definitely had the keys to the DeLorean. And he was like, okay, I'm only going to go this far to see what happens and tell you guys.
I would love to know.
See,
it's amazing how efficient their offense can look at times. It is just ridiculous. Did you guys see the goofy ass play that they're running where they're pulling Penei Sewell all the way across the formation?
Absurd. And
it's like, it's essentially, it's a power block where it's just a kick block. But if the defensive end on the play side of the formation wants to run under Sewell because he's essentially shitting his pants when he looks up and here's Penei Sewell running at me. Mm-hmm. So if he runs under it, Sewell's just like, whatever, we're running wider than you anyway. So he's not even blocking him. And then he's just getting out to a corner. And it's like, good luck. Yeah. You know?
The Lords of London guys is like, please, don't.
Exactly. I'm just going to widen and run to the sideline. Leave me alone. But it's an awesome play. It's such a simple thing to do. It's not simple. That's the wrong way to put it. They're making it look simple because he's so athletic and he's so, he's capable of moving the way he moves. But they score at times, and it's just crazy how easy some of it does look. I know it's not easy. No, I mean it's not, but I don't know. This is a hell of a run, man. That's impressive what they're doing.
Dave,
Yeah.
I had a box of Bonchon on deck for you in case they lost this game, just to soothe the wounds. You'd have cried and ate it. You'd have eaten the cry face eating it, but it would have been great.
Yeah, the crying Jordan, but eating my Bonchon. Yeah, I would have.
But there's a box coming your way, though. There's a box coming your way.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Jared Goff in this game, 30 of 43 for 287 yards, 2 touchdowns, but no interceptions. Jahmyr Gibbs, 9 carries, 74 yards and a touchdown, 4 catches for 40 yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 8 catches, 77 yards and a touchdown. Laporta, 9 catches for 70-some yards. You're right, Scott. Like, when this offense is really rolling, they are, in my opinion, the second most efficient offense in the league behind San Francisco.
Yeah, and it's fair. I mean, I think San Francisco they are more efficient, but the touchdown pass to Amon-Ra is just dirty. It's a great throw. But the Gibbs run there's nothing crazy about that run. It's just he's
just good.
Yeah. Dialing up some of the stuff that they had between Goff loves to throw the ball on in-breaking routes to the middle of the field.
Mm-hmm.
And Laporta's going to be super productive for a long time in that offense. Amon-Ra's a dude. I can't. They put so much on his plate. He's just incredible. He had a bad drop in that game, and then after that, everything was good. It was awesome. I mean, yes, Ben's right. Look at the rookies. You have Gibbs. You have Campbell playing somewhat of a role, but you have Branch playing a pretty. He's playing at a very high level right now. Laporta, I think, is the best young tight end in football, which is crazy to be a rookie and to put up the numbers that he did as a rookie, and then to make this run into the postseason. It's just nuts. It just feels. It doesn't feel right. It just doesn't. As a Lions fan, it just doesn't.
Yeah, and also because as Lions fans, and for just people who football in general, the Lions always have a Hall of Fame player, and at best they're mediocre. They have Barry Sanders or they have Calvin Johnson, and they're mediocre, but they're fun to watch because the player is so good.
Yes,
nobody on this team as of right now.
They snuffed that dude's career out because they suck.
Right. Nobody on this team as of right now is going to the Hall of Fame, although Penei Sewell is well on his way. And
that was the pick you hated, Dave,
better.
Remember? That was I said that was a pick you hate. Was that the Twitch year that we did the show when they picked Penei?
Yes.
And you were like, you lost your shit? Okay.
Right. I lost my shit because they passed on Justin Fields at quarterback when they didn't have a quarterback. Right. Yeah. It wasn't. I even said at the time, Penei Sewell, great prospect, probably going to be a good player. Right. I never had a negative thing to say about Penei Sewell. Right. It was taking the quarterback instead.
Well, how did it turn out? How did it turn out for you?
You're right. All we had to do was rely on Jared Goff being good out of nowhere. That seems like a far better bet than the 6'4", 237-pound beast out of Ohio State. Right. If we're just comparing bets at the time, like you have to put all your money on one, I would definitely go with Jared Goof playing at a Pro Bowl level.
Hey, you can never, what's the word? You can never measure how bad a guy wants it. Pause.
Nice. Dave makes a good point, though. Goff has emerged, and at the point where they made that trade, he was like, I'm sure we've talked about this, and I've probably said this before. If I have, tell me to stop. But he's like it was like, I got 16-year-old and 18-year-old at home, and if they've never had to do laundry or any of the stuff in the house, and I ship them off to college, and then they don't know what is this machine in the corner of the room? It's kind of my fault that I didn't teach them how to do laundry. And Sean McVay did not allow in this is a metaphor for McVay's relationship with Goff. He didn't allow Goff to grow as a player. He told him, hey, this is the plays we're running. I don't need to explain to you why. You don't need to know why. Just run the play I'm telling you to run. And that was the only upside in that trade with Goff, was that if he did grow and start to understand, quarterbacking at a higher level, there was some upside. But I know people liked him and all that stuff, but there was nothing there that would make you say, I'm a believer in Jared Goff.
Right.
There is now. So,
Yeah.
Banking on this happening was a bet nobody should have made, period.
Correct. Right, which is why I was upset at the time that they passed on Justin Fields.
Yeah. But Dave, some of us didn't like Fields at all.
But that's still a different question, because when you don't have a quarterback and you're able to get a quarterback, you should, you know what I mean? It's hard. It's hard.
They still had Stafford at that point. Stafford was still all in. I know what you mean, though. And I agree with you for almost the whole way. I do agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
You had a guy fall into your lap. You should not pass him up.
Correct. Now, it's the Broncos and Panthers who really screwed up passing out Justin Fields. Let's see here. Oh, in this game, Mike Evans, 8 catches, 147 yards, 1 touchdown. The Lions are having a great season, but their pass defense is truly terrible.
Yeah, look at the last five games. Justin Jefferson went off. CeeDee Lamb went off. Justin Jefferson again.
Mm-hmm.
Puka Nacua, and now Mike Evans. They're getting by these teams, and I would argue they're 5-0 in that stretch, even though they did lose one of those games. They're able to overcome allowing a number one receiver on the other team to go ham. They're able to overcome that. So this is a you should all run to your betting sites right now and play the Brandon Ayuk over right now, whatever it is, because he's going off. It's just,
I actually have counter advice to Scott. Don't bet Brandon Ayuk overs yet. Wait until Deebo Samuel is officially active, because the Ayuk numbers will come down. Then you take the Ayuk overs.
Do you think he will be active, though? Really?
Yeah, because they said he was 50-50 yesterday, so he might be more Toradol than man, but he's going to play.
I don't know, man.
There we go. Toradol.
Yeah.
Shit.
Also, Scott, you said receivers going ham there. In that context, what does ham stand for?
I don't know.
Did you even know it was an acronym?
No. Dude, come on. Are you serious? I don't know anything. Tell me what it means.
Hard as a motherfucker.
Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. And the reason I bring that up is that there's a song called Ham by Jay-Z and Kanye West, is The Throne, before Kanye went totally off the rails. And then my name on the screen here is a quote, is a lyric from Kanye West before he was completely crazy, from a song called Can't Tell Me Nothing, because right now,
yep,
Michigan national champs, Lions in the conference championship, can't tell me nothing. Chiefs 27, Bills 24. Before we get to Cleve's awful Josh Allen takes, Patrick Mahomes, 17 of 23, 215 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He has been a starter for 6 years. He has made the AFC Championship game all 6 years.
Yeah.
Is that any good?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Cleve, Travis Kelce, 5 catches, 75 yards, 2 touchdowns. Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. Do you agree?
I'm sorry. You still talking to? Oh, you talking to me? Oh. So, what do you want me to say here?
Well, first, I just want you to agree that big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. And Travis Kelce showed up here 575 and 2.
Oh, he's the Hall of Famer, first ballot walk-in.
Yeah, big game, shows up, has a big game.
Yeah. The thing, I think you said this, Dave, best. especially with all the stuff that happened all season with all those other receivers, because I guess he's not a receiver. The drops, he's the Mr. Reliable. He's the one that Patrick Mahomes like, you know what? He probably invites him over dinner, like, you know what? Fuck everyone else. We're gonna just get this done. I know I can rely on you. The other guys, who knows?
Kelsey had some bad drops this year too. They were all dropping passes for him this year. But only one drop in this game for Kansas City. Now, this was a crazy game. Down 3 in the third quarter, the Bills ran a fake punt from their own 30-yard line. It was a check at the line because Kansas City only had 10 people on the field. Scott, do you think it was the right decision?
Probably, yeah. It didn't work, but I mean, I'm all for stealing possessions and being aggressive, especially, you're playing the Chiefs. I know you're at home, but you're playing the Chiefs. Playing these super tight games and settling for field goals and settling for punts, that kind of stuff. I think you need to be more aggressive. And yes, it failed, but I do think it was the right call. You could push back on that completely, and I would get it. So, I mean, I don't think there's a perfect answer for that, but I think being aggressive is probably in today's game a better approach.
Cleve, what do you think? Cleve, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
I think you're lagging a little bit there, Cleve. What do you think of the go for it, the fake punt decision?
I agree with Scott. It's not being cheap. It's a competitive advantage. If they got 10 people out there, they know they have to have 11. It's not my fault. We're ready.
Let's go.
Tennis is the only sport that your opponent has to be like in the ready position for you to kind of fire off. But I'm like, hey, it's not my fault. They got 10 people. Let's run a play. Same as like a free play. When going downfield, you take the shot. Take the shot. It's free play.
Cleve, not a hockey fan. I agree, of course. I think it was the right decision there. Once you caught them with only 10 people, Jake says he thinks it's a big brain move by the Chiefs to bait them into a fake punt.
That's a way to think about it.
I mean, that would be something.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we have to get into this. Stefon Diggs, who is from the DMV, and we are fans of Stefon Diggs around here on this show and on this program. However, 3 catches, 21 yards, dropped an absolute bomb from Josh Allen that hit him in the hand 63 yards downfield. Now, Stefon Diggs has been whining on social media and on the sideline all season. His brother was on social media saying we got to get 14 out of Buffalo earlier this year. All this stuff. If we're going to say big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games, Stefon Diggs dropped the game.
Yeah, well, he's definitely going to probably be out. He's getting his wish. You're going to get your wish.
Yeah, he's 100% getting traded.
And these guys, it's interesting because we saw for a long time running backs just go from being productive to dust overnight. And it almost seems like receivers are starting to get there too. Like, I know he turned 30 this year, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Look at it's just crazy to think about on the other side of 30, what happened to him and it's like it fell off. It makes me wonder what his value is. And obviously, if he's not going to be a productive player, and if he's going to be a pain in the ass, they have to get rid of him.
Do you think do you guys think in the huddle in that moment, Josh said, "Hey, I'm looking for you here," or he just kind of like called the play and he went through his progressions and obviously he saw the break that happened there. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go there because I find it hard. Like after Dave mentioned it, like on our free text, I went back and like watched this from like multiple angles, like just online, and I'm like, I don't know if he knew the ball was really coming to him because it hit him in the hands, which is supposed to be a catchable. Like if it hits you in the hands, we all know it hits you in the hands. You got to catch it or make the catch and make it look challengeable or whatever. But I don't know if he thought the ball was going to come to him in that spot.
So the ball traveled 63 yards in the air, which means Josh Allen had to throw it pretty soon after the snap, right? Because Diggs is pretty fast. I think Diggs is the first read on that play. And if he gets a step on the corner, that pass is getting fired out there. It was just a huge drop, huge mistake. And the thing is, I love trash talking. I love Devo wide receivers. I think it's hilarious. I love all that stuff, but you have to back it up. Yeah. And in this moment, I mean, Josh Allen, this game goes 26 of 39 for 186 yards and 1 touchdown, adds another 72 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. If Diggs catches this pass, he's now 27 of 39 for 249 yards, and they probably win the game. And the conversation about Josh Allen is completely different.
So we talked about Jordan Love earlier, about the last few possessions in that game. We could say the exact same stuff about Josh Allen in this game. The way he managed that last possession was awful. Absolutely brutal. On second and 9, he's got Diggs running wide open.
More guys. It was more than Diggs, bro. 2 other guys ran.
Multiple guys. And he just decides to heave one into the end zone. And then 3rd and 9, you have open receivers as well. And you do the same thing, settling for this, it's Buffalo, it's outside, it's super cold, it's windy.
He had time. Time.
It was the 3rd down play that I thought he messed up. The 2nd down play where he did have Diggs running wide open, so you could make the argument that Diggs is the throw there. Shakir was open in the end zone. He got hit throwing the ball. Shakir was open. Like, if he doesn't take that hit when he's trying to throw it, that's the game-winning touchdown. Or touchdown.
He completes it. But in that situation, I think you just want to.
Yes, you go for the possession. You go
Diggs.
Go for Diggs, and then you're closer now. And the game's already went to 3.
Kansas City the ball back.
Exactly.
No. See, I think, and Ben Gretsch said this on Twitter. I think that has jumped the shark. Take the lead, right? Like, yes, you get the lead. It wasn't a contested 50-50. It wasn't a goal line fade. Shakir was open in the end zone. He got hit on the throw. I mean, that was it. That was the go-ahead touchdown. Was that the
play where Chris Jones put the guy in his lap?
Yeah.
Was it that?
Yeah.
And I didn't know. So you're right, Dave, because I had to think about this as you're saying it. So his foot got stepped on there.
Yeah.
Josh's foot got stepped on there. So it was like a lot going on. So that block was really kind of what happened.
Yes. Again, Shakir is open. Like, he's just open in the back of the end zone. That's a touchdown. And the Chiefs go up 31-27. And you know what? If Mahomes brings them back, they bring them back. You got to get the lead.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I'm just saying, I think they had multiple opportunities to continue to get the lead. And it would have been more prudent to take the easy first down on 2nd down. And you know what I mean?
And I would agree with you if he was looking for some contested catch with Kincaid kind of situation. Not wide open back of the end zone.
Yeah, okay,
for
Dave,
the touchdown, right?
Yeah, so Dave could. Yeah, you're right, Dave. It's if he didn't get hit, that's a touchdown. Well, obviously we expect Shakir to catch it, but
if he doesn't get hit there, pass is complete to Shakir. They have the go ahead touchdown. Nobody's like, no, you should have thrown it to Diggs to take more time. You know what I mean? Like
the only way that happens is if he's going through progressions. If he didn't have Chris Jones in his face at that point.
Yeah, you can make the argument because Diggs should have been an earlier read. He might have thrown it to Diggs first. Like, he should have seen Diggs first and done that.
Yeah.
But maybe on film, he knew that there's a chance Shakir would be open, so he wanted to wait to see if it would break that way. And then it did, so he threw it.
Yeah,
but I mean, if he's holding the ball and waiting to see if it's going to break that way, he's inviting pressure.
Yeah.
And he's asking to be hit when he throws the ball.
Yeah. Chris Jones literally put the guy in his lap, dude. Like, see, you had 2 guys technically in your lap at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't think that if you're Josh Allen, you should be like, I have an open receiver in the end zone to win this game with this howitzer I have attached to my shoulder. I'm going to dump it down to Stephon Diggs to take another 40 seconds off the clock and maybe still not score. Like, it was there.
So
he went for it.
So here's my thing, and this is the problem I have with Josh, right? Hell of a player. I would want him on the Jets. Obviously, I think he's a great quarterback. He's in the top 10 in the league. The thing about it is that the players that he plays with, and we're talking about it now, Like you got Mahomes doing everything he can to make the play extend. Josh is kind of the same way, even if he has to turn into Mr. Reckless to do it, to say, you know what, fuck it, no one's open. I'm gonna do this. But the thing is that these guys gave up on him, and it was apparent. The drops, obviously, and then some of the things that happened in that game, like he didn't have the help that he should have. Like they didn't rally for the guy. It's an important win. It's a home game. The team let him down. Like like you said, if Diggs makes that catch, his stats go way up, and they win the game, and they win. Yeah. So what if he should went to the mic and said, you know what else can I fucking do? Like what else can I do here? I don't even know what else you want me to do.
In 2 games of the playoffs, he had 7 touchdowns and no turnovers.
Yeah, it's kind of a ridiculous run.
Can we talk about Mecole Hardman for just 1 second?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. I cannot believe you didn't send a picture of a UPS truck after he fumbled that ball out of the end zone.
He's probably done, bro.
Okay. You're going to have the ball at the half-yard line. What are you doing? God, I sound like I'm bitching about these guys. I don't mean to, because I think Josh Allen was awesome in that game. It's just that last possession bothered me. But the Hardman thing was like I saw it coming from a mile away. Like he's not going to make it, and he's going to reach out, and there's going to be something that it's Hardman. Like
just hold it to the chest. Just hold it to the chest and get to the one. Get to the one.
Kadarius Hardman.
Exactly.
They're just like one entity at this point. However, the mistake on that play is with Mecole Hardman, but is also with Andy Reid and Matt Nagy. Isaiah Pacheco is your running back.
Yes.
Give the ball to Isaiah Pacheco.
Yes. Don't be so cute. Yes.
Red zone package. Pause.
Right. Mecole Hardman is a notorious fuck up.
That's why it was funny. As soon as he touched the ball, it was like it was obvious there's some shit coming. Yeah. Hold your breath. Yeah.
In the Super Bowl against Tampa Bay, the reason that remember there was like a missed field goal by Tampa Bay and Hardman was offside for it, so they got to kick it again or some such. Like the Mecole Hardman has a role on a team. It is never critical play in critical moments.
Now looking for you here, buddy.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Okay, Cleve, here's a stat for you. Over the last 10 games, Bills receiving yards. So keep in mind, the Bills won like 7 in a row before this loss here. Over the last 10 Bills games, this is from Ian Hartitz on Twitter. Khalil Shakir has 462 receiving yards. Stephon Diggs has 422. However, Shakir has 37 targets. Diggs has 80.
Yeah, he's definitely out of there, bro.
Yes.
We're not paying for this.
Shakir is done. Really limited to the slot too.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because they have resolved that. Like their slot receiver of the future is Shakir, and they have the tight end of the future in Kincaid. They need Stephon Diggs.
Yeah. Where could Diggs?
He froze up, but I think he's going to ask where could Diggs go that would make sense.
Houston? No. Where can he? You're right. That's part of it. Where can he go that he could be a number one?
Well, nowhere, because he's not number one anymore. Clearly.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I wanted you guys to say. Like I think I'm not saying he's washed or dustball yet, but that's a telling stat where a guy that just, to Scott's point, I'm just this, I'm the slot guy. I just catch that possession. That's
he may
insane.
be washed, though. He may be washed.
It's possible. It's possible. Sunday's game against the Ravens will be Patrick Mahomes' 17th playoff start. The Cardinals have existed since 1920 and have played 17 playoff games.
That's insane, dude. That's insane.
That means Patrick Mahomes has played a full season's worth of playoff games now, 16 games. He's 13-3, 67% completion percentage, 4,500 yards, 38 touchdowns, 7 picks, another 440 yards on the ground, and 5 more TDs.
He could probably retire now and still make it to the Hall.
Oh yeah,
with that body of work, he can make it to the Hall because that's a career's worth of stuff. And he's got probably another 10 years to play.
He's only 28.
Yeah, 10 years to play. Yeah, I could see him playing 10 more years.
This is GOAT level stuff here.
Yeah, what?
He won't match Brady for rings because nobody
No.
will. That's just insane.
But
this
the
is
level
GOAT
of
stuff.
play is it's ridiculous.
Yeah. All right, a couple more minutes here. We're going to preview the upcoming games. Hang on, we got a good question here from Jake. Is this the most mid Chiefs team to make the AFC Championship 6 in a row now, and they did it again? I would say last year, because I think Rashid Rice is a lot better than Juju Smith-Schuster.
I do too, and I think their defense is better now. I think they have a better defense right now than they've had the last several.
Yeah.
Maybe that's hard to gauge, and maybe that's not fair, but it's the most mid offense they've had, I think.
More than last year?
Yeah, I kind of think so. I mean, because Kelsey's been down.
That's true. Kelsey's not as good.
If Kelsey's going to do what Kelsey did last week, then they're back. That quick. I don't know. Yeah. Good question.
Kansas City at Baltimore, Sunday, 3:00. Baltimore favored by 3.5. The over/under is 44.5. Opened at 46.5. My personal opinion: if both quarterbacks play an A+ game, I think Kansas City wins.
Wow.
I agree.
I don't think anybody can beat Mahomes if he plays an A+ game.
Special talent.
He is. We'll see what Baltimore's defense can manage in this one. This will be a really interesting matchup.
It's going to be great.
It is.
It's
awesome.
If Lamar has if they're up by 3 touchdowns, I don't think Mahomes can in a shootout because of the receiver.
Totally agree.
If they're up 3 scores, it's going to be hard for Kansas City.
Cleve, I think it's a great point. They have to manage this game and almost try to reduce possessions, which is kind of nuts to think that Kansas City's going to do that.
Yep.
But yeah, slow it down, run the ball.
Yep.
They cannot let the Ravens get out in front of them. They can't.
Nope, because Lamar would feast. He would feast on that. If he's up 3 touchdowns, say 3 like by the half, it's going to take some magician shit to catch them.
Baltimore is the better team this year. They've already destroyed San Francisco and Detroit. So I think if this game does end up being a blowout one way or the other, it will be towards Baltimore. I don't see Kansas City winning this game by 14 or more. I could see the Ravens just walking out 31-10, just putting it on them.
Yeah.
Yep.
If everything goes right, the total dropping here implies a more defensive game than might be expected with these 2 quarterbacks. So I really do think the game will come down to which of these quarterbacks makes a couple MVP caliber plays at the right time when it's really needed.
Is that right? Chiefs and Lions started the season?
Yeah, remember they were week 1. Yeah, so that's a question here from Logan. He says, Chiefs and Lions start the season. They were the season kickoff and then end the season of the Super Bowl. That'd be fun.
Dope. I wonder if that was a bet. That's awesome. Yeah.
So I think that Lamar's legs do give them the edge here in what should be a low-scoring, close game. I have Baltimore winning 23-17.
Okay. I ain't argue with that.
Yep.
You guys both think Baltimore will win?
I have no idea.
Well, Scott, we pay you to have an idea.
All right. So
I don't know. I think Kansas City will win this game. I really do. But I have nothing.
So here's my thing, man. As much as I love Patrick Mahomes as a player, I'm just Chiefs tired. Like I need to see someone else, dude. Like I'm just tired of seeing it. Give someone else a chance at this.
For narrative reasons, I would love to see Lamar Jackson win a Super Bowl.
Oh my God.
Just like, all right, for all you idiots who asked me to play wide receiver, this is for you. It's it is such a ridiculous thing that he had to endure that shit and still does. And people view him as an athlete throwing the football, and it's come on, he's so good in the pocket.
Dan Orlovsky said, I was like, shut the fuck up already, dude. Like I'm tired of hearing that shit. And you're not credible to give that kind of advice to Lamar Jackson. Stop.
Right. Lamar Jackson knows where the end zone is. So
stop, dude. Stop. Just stop.
I really want Lamar Jackson to have success just for that reason alone. That I want that narrative to die.
And beating the Chiefs, like there's no more sweeter victory than that. Like that's like the cap off right there, dude.
That's slaying the dragon for sure.
Yeah, and I need them to win because that's my Super Bowl pick.
If the Ravens won the Super Bowl and Trump lost the South Carolina primary, can you imagine the tears we'd get from that Venn diagram that's just a circle?
What's happening tonight, by the way? That's a whole other story.
Yeah, I don't know. They say turnout is up, but I mean, Nikki Haley is not. I mean, America's never been a racist country, so maybe she has a chance.
Clearly.
She's a brown woman named Nikki running for the Republican nomination. So, I'm sure she has a great shot.
Unbelievable.
Detroit at San Francisco, Sunday at 6:30. San Francisco -7, over under 51.5. This Lions season has already been successful as anyone could have possibly imagined. Win the division, win 2 playoff games. No matter what happens on Sunday, this season has been incredible and great, which is good because the Lions are going to get murdered by the 49ers.
So I'm going to go back to an earlier thing we were talking about. So like if Purdy gets knocked out, who's the backup?
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold.
Okay, so that's all I got to say. If Purdy gets knocked out, and we're talking about an offense needing to be precise, it's not going to be a good look. So I hope he's taking reps just to be ready in case Purdy gets knocked out.
So I'm going to do the whole silver lining kind of, this is the way the Lions can win, and if they can pull this shit off, they will win. I don't know if I believe what I just said. Give me a second. No, I think there's an avenue. I think there's a roadway or whatever you want to consider it for the Lions to have success in this game, and it's running the ball. The 49ers are absolutely not set up to defend the run. They are not.
No.
And Aaron Jones exploited that.
Gus Edwards and Justice Hill.
I think Montgomery's banged up a little bit. He did not look right in that game to me. I think that's why Reynolds came in on that 4th down play, which was ridiculous. And Gibbs is Gibbs. So, but the path is that the Lions make Brock Purdy uncomfortable. Deebo Samuel's not 100%. Their offense is somewhat limited, and you're running the ball on them, and then you get play action involved, and you get, Amon-Ra's going to get his 8 to 10 catches. Laporta's going to do his thing, and you have some explosive runs. But that's kind of it. Like, McCaffrey's going to make some big plays. He's going to, he's going to have a big run or a big catch. Ayuk's going to do his thing. Kittle's going to get into the second level and look like a tank. But I don't think it's quite as the Lions are going to get murdered in this game. Now, I could be I could be huffing blue here for the last half hour. I could, whatever.
Wow, Scott, since I was 10, but it's great. Wow. Took me back.
I'm glad I could take you back to some good memories.
They huffed glue in the 1920s.
What else did they have?
You know how I learned to huff glue? Watching a Crime the McGruff dog afternoon, like don't do drug special, and that was on
I think you missed the point of the special.
So that's how you do that.
And I got the old model airplane glue in a brown paper bag, and I had a good time. So it was a massive headache, but yeah. I agree with Scott, and I think the uncomfortability that the Lions could give Purdy, if he makes some mistakes, if he plays like one of those games he played about a month and a half ago, you guys will beat them easy. But again, it's the 49ers, and if they're moving on all, they're going to be hard to beat. But again, I honestly think if there's a chance of a Darnold having to get in the game, you guys are going to fucking mollywop these guys.
The Lions need to be +2 in turnovers just to cover the 7.
Wow.
So I think that's fair that they do need to win the turnover battle, and they need to have to me. So I guess I'll sum it up for me, whatever it's worth. It's like a 30-70 matchup to me. Like if they play 10 times, the Lions win maybe 3, right? If the Lions play an excellent football game in every phase, all phases, I think it's a coin flip 50-50. But that's the best case scenario. If San Francisco plays a really good game, it's more like, 2 or 3 out of 10, but hey, the Lions are there and we'll see what happens. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy they're there. Obviously, I'm pulling for, I'm going to be going nuts pulling for them or whatever. But, I say what I think here on the show. And the Lions don't do well on the road. They don't do well on the road against good teams. They did well against Dallas. Dallas is not a good team.
Yeah.
I fear a Ravens style situation. I think in your 70-30, that 85% of that 70% the 49ers win are instructions.
Yes, that's fair.
Right.
So are we looking at a 56% route? Is that what we're doing here? 60% route?
Yeah, 60% of the time I think the Lions get right out of the building.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a closer game than we're thinking, bro.
I hope so. I think it's going to be tight. I do.
It's probably going to be a field goal or 4 points. It's going to be something like that. I just got a feeling, and it ain't going to be a walk off.
I could see this game being close, being competitive, late third, early fourth, before the 49ers finally.
Yeah,
but this cannot be overstated. The Lions secondary is trash in pass coverage. They're good at run defense. But
if Darnold stop asking a player like Cam Sutton to press a guy like Mike Evans, though,
yeah, come on.
It doesn't matter why. They just are trash.
I know they are.
But there's no getting around. Brian Branch is a very good player, but he's the only one.
Yeah.
They're bad. Yeah. And with Kittle and Ayuk, even without Debo, they're not.
Juwan Jennings. They have options.
The 49ers will score 30-plus points in this game if they want to. Can the Lions go to San Francisco against that defense and score more than that?
So it's the Lions game against the Chargers from earlier this season. That's your best hope for the Lions.
Yeah, but the Chargers are the Chargers.
I know. But we'd be talking about Debo Samuel missing the game and like a drone strike on the bus coming to the stadium. All kinds of weird, crazy stuff.
That just got dark.
I know. I'm sorry.
Oh, right. Fuck.
You never know.
No, it just got vivid. That just got vivid.
They'd have to get every break there is, multiple turnovers, a pick six, a long punt return, kick return, touch, something. Where you'd have to steal multiple possessions and score doing it, kind of thing. So, is it possible? Yeah, super unlikely.
This is not related at all. Theoretically, drone strike the 49ers team bus. Do the Lions automatically go to the Super Bowl, or do they have to play the Packers?
I wish I wouldn't have said it. I feel really bad saying it. I wouldn't have said it. That's one of those times when, filterless Scott is a problem. It entered my brain and came out my mouth.
To me, if you're the Packers and you lost and you're out. But you should also have to win to get there. So the Lions shouldn't get a free pass just because ISIS hit the 49ers or something.
And listen, it goes back to what Clev said earlier. If they got 10 guys on the field, who cares? That's their problem. You got nobody on the field, just snapping the ball.
Damn, bro. Man, now I feel bad. yeah. You just see someone, bro.
Yeah, I have been.
So wait a minute, no, Dave makes a good point.
I don't know what you're huffing, but it's not Elmer's.
God forbid, yeah. What does happen? Be honest, if one team for some reason, I'm not gonna go the death thing. Let's say that their plane got delayed, they can't make the game. They make the game up.
You delay the game in that case. There'd have to be a reason they just refused to play or couldn't play.
Okay. Yeah, that's a weird one.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm not talking like the entire team goes away. I'm just saying, somebody falls off the bus funny and misses a week. That's all. I'm digging myself a bigger hole, aren't I?
Yes.
Yeah. You're gonna hire Tanya Harding to just go to
Jeff
the table leg and just
I'm gonna stop talking. I'm done.
Anyway, San Francisco 38, Detroit 17.
Ew.
Nah, that's way too much. Nope. I'm not buying.
I mean, the
Got some
over under
numbers.
is 51.5. I just put it slightly over. Logan asks, better for the Lions to lose here in a close game or make it to the Super Bowl and against Baltimore and get blown out. Better to make the Super Bowl, get blown out.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll take that in a heartbeat.
Yes. 100%.
Ask Buffalo about that.
Yes. I would punch my mother for the Lions to get blown out in a Super Bowl.
Wow.
Love you, Mom,
Man.
but like, I just
Put your hands up, Mom.
Don't wince.
that's
Don't
just,
wince.
That's what it is. Like,
Oh man, Dave, you see someone too. Whoever he's seeing, you need to
Maybe we get a group rate.
Yeah.
Scott,
I'm a Jets fan.
I go to couples counseling.
There's no hope for me. I'm a Jets fan. There's no hope. They would see the hat and like get him out of here. We can't do anything for him.
Cleve, 3 years ago, the Lions had Bob Quinn as their GM and Matt Patricia as their head coach. If there's any reason to show you that there's always hope, it's this year. And the Lions, there's always hope.
I forgot about that.
3 years ago, man.
Shit. Wow.
Last note from me before we shut it down here. Cleve, the running backs and the AFC, the quarterbacks are Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes, right? Just both now multiple MVPs, fantastic. I always talk about running backs don't matter. The starting running backs are Isaiah Pacheco and Gus Edwards. They both went to Rutgers.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool.
But also shows you the quality of running back you need.
It's a factory.
Yeah. Like you said, you can pick up one at Target tonight.
Kyle Monangai, top 25 pick, top 5 pick, top 2025. Scott, any final words?
No, I've said enough.
Cleve, any final words?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to some good football. Like playoff football is, really good. So I'm actually secretly rooting for you guys, but I need the 49ers and Baltimore to make the Super Bowl. I got a bet going.
Fair enough. Well, thank you everybody in the chat for joining us. Always makes it so much better here doing the show. Thank you everybody listening for watching. The only final words from me are forward down the field, a Charger team that will not yield. Take it, Cleve.
Oh man. Hello, my Berber. Hello, my darling. Whatever.